I'm Joe Bornhorst from Tekno RC. Today I'm going to show you how I go about tuning my new Blok 21bm engine in my Tekno buggy. So it's super crucial when you're tuning a buggy engine to get it correct because there's just less room for error when you're driving a buggy versus a truggy. In the video you'll see that I start a little bit rich and I take you to a good race tune. A couple things to remember before tuning is to warm up the engine to about 180 degrees Fahrenheit before touching any needles. Make sure that your tank, your fuel line, and your whole fuel system is good. The overall health of the engine is good. There's no air leaks in the compression and everything, and there's nothing that's going to cause any problems. And then just pay attention to the steps because the way that I do it I think is really simple and easy to repeat. And if you follow the steps, no matter where you're at, you'll be able to tune your Blok 21bm engine and get ready to rip on the track. So I have the engine already warmed up here. So the first thing that we're going to do is run a prime. And then you're good to fire it up. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to let the engine run for a little bit, get some more temp into it, and just let the engine kind of reset. You never want to start touching needles as soon as you fire it up. So we'll check the temp. We're real close and it looks good to go. So the first thing we're going to touch is the top end. We're going to get it to clean out overall better. So you can see I took a pretty big bite right there. Not there yet, so we're going to take another one. Starting to clean out better, but not quite there. So we're going to take one more decent bite. We're real close now. Now pay attention to the pitch versus the last one. You can hear that slight difference in the top end pitch, and that's where you want it. Now the next thing we're going to do is work on the bottom. You can see there that I held consistent throttle about 10 to 15% and then punched it. And it hesitated because there was too much fuel left over because the bottom end needle is too rich. So I took a pretty big bite and you can tell that that one's a little bit better. But we're still not quite there. So we're going to lean out the bottom a little bit more. You can hear that it's getting closer, but it's still not quite there. It's still hesitating. So took another decent bite. You can hear there that it's getting more snappy, sounding a lot better. And I like how that sounds, so I think we're going to leave that there. We'll check it just one or two more times here. Yeah, that sounds good. So we're going to leave that there. Next we'll work on the mid. So to check the mid, I'm going to just pull consistent, slow, full trigger pull. And you want the engine just to keep up with what your finger is doing. You don't want it to bog down and get loaded up. You don't want it to run away up from your own finger. So that sounds pretty good. Now sometimes in buggy, I'll run the mid a little bit rich. And you can do this just to kind of calm down the engine overall if it is a little bit too much. You can hear there that it loaded up a little bit in the mid. Now you will lose fuel mileage by doing that, but it will smooth out the engine a little bit. So that's not super recommended, but you can do that. Now I'll show you what too lean of a bottom sounds like. You can hear the idle just doesn't sound quite right. It's running out of fuel with those consistent throttle pulls. So we'll go back to where we had it set before. And you'll hear the idle sounds better. The overall just sound is better. Back to being snappy, correct. We'll check the bottom. We'll check the mid. And then we'll check the top. And all that sounds good to me. So you'll just make sure that the piston is at bottom dead center so it's not stuck up in the pinch, and that's how I tune my Blok 21bm engine.